Greetings. I am Susan Maria Micaela B. In our midterm project, I was assigned for explaining the purpose and functionality of the node class, which acts as the core element of our custom doubling linked list. The class is designed to store both product and sales objects, allowing each node to represent a complete inventory and transaction data. It includes next and prep pointers to enable bidirectional traversal, which is essential for efficient data manipulation, and also explain how the getter and setter methods ensure proper encapsulation and maintain clean modular code. This structure plays a important role in supporting operations like insertion, deletion, and traversal within our inventory and sales management system.
So, greetings. I am Twiza and today I will explain the product class. So first here we see different variables which is encapsulated by the private keyword so that other packages can easily access it. So here we declared some variables like private int ID, stock, and month sold temp, etc. Such as yeah, and other variables such as name and head. After that, we also instantiated a constructor. So here we see different parameters for the constructor, which is ID, stock, unit price, selling price, and name. Essentially, what does is to basically um, initialize the values of each of these classes. So we use the this keyword so that we can specifically let's say select these classes. So the value will be what based on the parameter typed by the user. So this.id is equals to id and etc. So that's basically the purpose of the constructor. Then after that we also use getters and setters. And basically what the getter does is it returns a value based on the, for example, this get name. So it will return a string which is based on the variable name. So if then after that, so basically the purpose of get name is just to get the value of that particular variable. So here before that, obviously we want to set an set we want a setter to set, let's say, the name of um, the, let's say, product or customer. So here we public void set name, then parameter string name. Then similar to the constructor, what this basically does is initializes the value of the name. So this dot name is equals to name. So what so before we get the name, we obviously need to set it. So for example, um, if I set the name to, let's say, CJ, then and we use the get name to get the name of that particular customer, then it will return the name CJ. Then that's basically it for the other getters and setters for the specific variables. Then we also um, use a method called public string to string. This basically just returns the information of each of the variables. For example, the product ID, the name, and also we also use two different prices, which is the unit price and the selling price. The purpose of this is so that we can correctly get the sales and revenue. So the unit price is the initial price, and the selling price is basically the price which is bump up. So this is the price of the price we sell the product. So basically this is the initial price, and this is the price after we um, let's say increase the price so that we can get the total revenue correctly. Then after that, more getters and setters for the variables. Then we also use getters and setters for the head and also the mansole and the set mansole. So that is all for the product Java. And also additionally, we also use this we also encapsulated this um, private product data, and as you can see, we get the um, product data from the product class. So basically, um, the purpose of this is so that we can put um, the the information from the product class to the node. So as you can see here, for example, this. Uh, Wait a sec. This. So here we get the product data from the node, and as you can see, we get the get stock. So there's no get stock in the node, but we can get the stock because we return the value of the product, which is here, as you can see. So that's basically it for the product .java. And once again, I am Twisa, and thank you for listening.
Dangal greetings, Sir Janus. This is Neller George Kahada to ITC Group 3, and I will be explaining the sales class on Smart Inventory and Sales Management System. So, this class represents sales transaction in the Smart Inventory Sales Management System package. It stores details about a sale, such as customer, product quantity, price, and when it was sold. So, for the constructor, um, this constructor initialize a new sales object with all the necessary data. So when you create the new sale, all the fields are assigned values right away. So the field attributes, sales ID contain unique identifier for the sale, customer name who made the purchase, product ID and product name identify the product sold, quantity how many units were sold, sale price, total sale price or price per unit depending on usage, unit price, original unit before sale or discount, month sold, numeric month of the sale. Example, number 1 for January up to 12 for December. So for the getters and setters, each field getters and setter methods, they allow other parts of the program to read or update the field values safely. So this method, to string method, is overridden to provide a readable text description of a sale. When you print a sale object, it shows all the details neatly formatted. And that's all for this class. It is used to put data on the node, or it will be the one that will be the value of the node class. Thank you, and my group mates will explain other parts of our program. Thank you.
Dangal greetings po, Sir Janos. My name is Harvey. I'm part of the Group 3. And this is going to be our report. And this is my part, sir. I'm part of the product management that Java we actually do output tracing regards with this one. So we do apologize for the look, sir. It's just that this project is we're trying to squeeze in more time in this, so please bear with us. So let's go ahead and start with our product management. So we have both buffer reader right here, since we're going to get user inputs, and then we have created two nodes right here, the head and the tail. Basically, that's gonna be our pointers. Okay, so uh, first method will be the node get head that will return the value of the head. Okay, then after that will be the add new product. So we also have created the object product right here, since this is going to be part of the main where is that? That's gonna be right here. This is gonna be our preset, what we call the preset. So that will be that one. Apologize for that, sir. And then after that will be the new node. We're basically going to create a new node, and that will cater all of the product coming from the main class. So this is going to be like um, well, basically the pointers. So if head is equals to null, so that means we don't have any data yet. So the head will point into the new node, same as the tail. If not, then the tail will going to be pointed into the new node created. And then this part right here, new node and set previews, actually that's gonna be the tail. That is something that will make the um, apologize for that again. That will make the process a double linked list, doubly linked list. Okay, so let's go straight ahead into the add product. So this is basically the one that's going to accept user inputs. So new node right here. So basically it's going to create the node. This part going to accept all of the informations on the user input. And same as on the top, right here, that's going, this is something that will, again, our pointer. So if head is equals to null, then create the new node, right? Head and the tail. If not, then the tail will going to be pointed into the new node. Basically, again, creating our doubly linked list. So this public int generate product ID, that is the code we write to auto generate the product ID. So that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. So that's the reason why we have generated ID plus plus. So every time you going to add um, items or product, a new product ID, or I'm sorry, the new product ID will be created. So public void, let's go ahead into our public void update product details. So still, um, this will going to accept information from the integer ID as well. So let me, okay, so right there. So again, um, we're going to get user inputs. I need to apologize for that, sir. We're going to get inputs from our user. So enter new stock. That's going to be stored right here. Get product data, set stock. Same as the unit price. So get product data. Um, the unit price will going to be stored and same on the get product data and then the unit price. Same as this, enter new selling price. Okay. So last will be, is it the last? Okay, so another one would be the delete product. So what this method do is it's not actually going to delete the node, but what we're going how we delete node is uh, pointers. So this no current is current if no. So this part right here. So what this part do is, let's say we have three nodes, right? And then the one that you're going to delete is the second node. So what this will do is the first node will be pointed on the third node, and the third node will be pointed on the first node, completely ignoring the second node. So we're not actually deleting it. We're just ignoring it when we traverse. Okay, and last would be the display product right here. So we have created an array right here. So actually this is like the name. So this is so this part right here is this one right here. Okay. So we have string headers right here that will cater the informations from the ID, name, category, brand, unit price, and then sales price, and stock. So while current must not be equal to null, so basically our data is not null since we have inputted the data, and this code right here will going to display all of the information entered by the user. And I believe that should be it, sir. Again, we do apologize if we somehow come out unprepared, but believe us, sir, we have poured our like most of the time with this code. So again, sir, dangal greetings and thank you very much.
So, greetings everyone. I'm Kim Jarno Nataya, and I will be continuing the product management. Let's start with search product. Let's find the product by its ID. And if you search an ID, it will ah! So, greetings everyone. My name is Kim Jarno Nataya. I will be continuing the product management list. Let's start with search product, which find the product by its ID. But if it's not, there's no such ID, such it will return null, just like. And then let's us first view all the products with different IDs. Then let's search. Let's say ID number 2. It will display the name, unit price, selling price, stock, total sales, and total revenues, just like here. So if I enter, then search another product that is not in the all the products that display, say 7, it will return null. So this one is just for this method. Let's say it will help that a detailed product by its ID also. So let's move on to refunds. These return all the product stocks and sales, total sales and total revenue. So let me show you how to. So let's say I record this the sale, just here, product ID, one of, sorry, the quantity is let's say 23. Then let we check if the product stocks are decreased. Then report analytics, total number of products. So it reduced by 23, just like here. It has 50, and we give the customer 23, so we only have 27 products. But if we remove sales management and delete sales record, then number 1, it will delete, as you can see here, it will delete and refunded the stocks. And it's the same as this here in remove sales and remove revenue. If the customer refunded, it will go back to its stocks and sales and revenues. And so let's move on to total number of product stocks. So here's the total revenue of the product stocks. It will display all the stocks of all the products listed. Next one, total sales revenues. Let me show you how you do it. This just let you see all the total sales revenues have the product. Oh wait, let me just go record another sale. CJ ID number 1, quantity is 34, 0, 10. Here it will appear the total sale revenue have that customer the product uh, have. Then let's move on to highest uh, total sales revenue. It's just the same as here. If we do this, and yes, it will appear the total revenues of sales. And let's move on to highest total sales. This will display the highest uh, highest total sales of a product. So if the highest, which is, let's just say that the product number 1 is the highest, it will just uh, it will display all the product highest total sales, just like here in the output. And last soft is out of stock. It will just show if the prod if there's a product that is out of stocks. Let's just save, and you can see it's none. So this is the what do you call this, the function in total products list. It will show all the products have been working in the program, and that's it for the product management.
Dangal greetings, I'm Mark Lord de la Gradilla. Today, I will explain to you the first half of the sales management. But before we go to the first method, let us tackle what is buffered reader. Well, this is just a system or just designed to be a input user reader. Next is the private node head and tail. These ones are called class attributes. Now that is settled, let us move to the first method, which is called add order. So we can see in the parameter sales data, this is a user input data. So we get the data from the user input. And now we will create a node which is named new node, and that new node will be set to sales data. Next is the if statements. So this one is just check if the head is null. If it's null, then it will have a value like right here. Head is equals to new node. Also tail equals new node. Now let us move to else, and this one is tail that set next new node. So we will go to the next node, and while this new node will set its previous to tail, and tail is equals to new node. Next is generate sales ID. Well, to basically explain this, this one is automatically generates a new unique ID for the sales that we had. For example, let me run this to. So let's say that the customer is CJD and he wants to buy a product, and the product ID is 2, and he purchased it from this October, so let's say 10, and there you go. The product ID number 2 is Piatos. So now, how many did he buy? Well, let's say he purchased 5. Enter, and there goes. Sale recorded successfully. Now let me just cancel this. Continue. And now we will see the newly generated ID. So let's say display, and there you go. As you can see here, this is the ID that we are talking about. This one is just automatically generates. So since CJD is the first one that purchased on this October, so he get the one. Next is the third method called delete sales record. We can see here is just an error handling, which check if the head is null, then just return. So this one, if the head matches on the ID that the user wants to delete, then the head will be null and the next head will be the next node, which is right here. So this if statement, just if the head is null, then the new head will be set to null. So next we declare a current, and which is the head is the new head after doing these statements right here. So now let's go to this while loop. This while loop will traverse in the linked list. Right now, like I said, if the current and the user entered the ID that he wants to delete, then the two if statements will commence. So to put it easy to understand, for example, I have 3 nodes, right? So let's say that the user wants to delete this one. Now let's say that this one is gone. Now these 2 remain. Now these pointers, or the pointers they have, is still pointing to that deleted node. So now this logic over here is just we need to relink them to each other like that. So this one in the middle, it will just get deleted. So that's the logic right there. This is the fourth method, which is named sales summary. So as you can see here, the product management is a class which is right here. So in the parameter, we just simply called it product list. So we declared product node, and in this one is product list. So we will get the data from the product management. So now we will loop, which is called while loop, and it will traverse, right? So now we will declare so many things right here. So you can see here, these are the counters. And now another while loop, and we declared a sales to get the sale data. Like for example, CJD here, who bought the Piatos, and we get his ID, right? His information about his purchase, about him, and all that. So now let's go to if. So sales that get product ID is matched to product ID, and if it match, then this formula will now go to its action, and after that the product will be set to total sales. This one is how much we sales that we got, and this one is total revenue. This one is how much we earned. So as you can see here in the output, I will type or enter the sales summary, which is 4, enter. So what month did CJD buy? From October, so 10. So as we can see here, the product ID, the name of the product, and we just sold it to a one customer, which is CJD, and the month of the product sold, and the total sales. Let us continue. So that is all for the first half of the sales management. Thank you. For the second half, it will be explained by Mr. Pama.
Greetings, Sir Jonas. Today, I will explain and discuss what are the last four methods in our in our class, that is sales management. So, to start, I will be specifically discuss the get sales data by ID, display sales record, most sold product, and month of total sales. To start, I will discuss the get sales ID method. And it have a parameter that it is int ID. So the we start by pointing our current uh, to our head, and if the current is not equals to now, it will go through each data of our list until it reaches the end, and then it will store the object on that node on the node, and it will give a unique ID. Later on, I will show the table. Then the next one is the display sales record. We start by pointing our current in our head and creating a string month. So if our current is equal to null, means that there is no data yet. It will display no recorded sales, and we start by creating in our table the much needed data, which is sales ID, product ID, name, selling price, quantity, and month sold. So this corresponding line of code here represent the string to the header. So the print line will print the headers. I forgot that string that format will just format the line of string of code here for the table to be neatly clean. And the repeat function here will just repeat the equal sign, and later on I will show how it works. Then this line of code here will just format the row of the header to be neatly show the user. So to start, just record a sale. So so as you can see, we just record the sale of a product. Then to show the table, we just needed to display the record. So as you can see here, this is our strings, which is sales ID, product ID name, selling price, and quantity sold in that month. So as you can see here, this get ID, so product name, and so on. So the next that I will demonstrate is the most sold product method. It needs a parameter of product list and months sold. So just like the display method, we start by creating a class of month, and the sales node will be pointing equals to the head. Then this line of code here resets each product temporarily to the set month sold them in order for the old data not to interfere with the new one. And then this line of code here which loops on the every sales record in our list, and if the sales month matches the month sold parameter, it finds which product that sales belong to, and comparing it to the product ID, then it adds one to that product. So month sold counter will count how many times the product was sold in that month. So after this step, every product knows how many sales we had in that month. So this line of code here simply means that it scans all through the product. It's find the highest number of times a product was sold in that month. And the last is the printing. It prints the header line which selected the month's name, and it loops through all the products again. Any product whose month sold equals to the max sales is printed, meaning it tied for the most sold product. So the last method in the sales management class is the month of total sales. So just like the other method, we start by creating a month of array and pointing the sales record to our head. The total products sold counts how many sales transactions happened in that month, and the month of total sales accumulate the total sales in that month. So this loops goes through each sales record. It checks if the sales month sold matches the month number that the user passed in the parameter. if this matches the code, it will get the price per unit and the quantity sold, and it will multiply them for the transaction, and then it adds one to the product sold and compute the sales amount in the amount of total sales. The if this line of codes here are, it prints the number of products sold and the total revenue for that month. If there are no sales, uh, the month of sales is 0 for, and it will display no sales in this month. And that to demonstrate the function of most sold products and month of total sales, we just need first to record. So as you can see here, I just recorded a product. So in order to demonstrate the function of month of total sales and the function of most sold product, we need to see the sales summary. So as you can see here, this is the function. As you can see here, the most sold product is in January. So as you can see here, product ID, the name of the product, and how many it was sold in that month. So as you can see here, month of January product sold is 1. So another one, it will display the total sales for that month of, of January. So as you can see here, if there are no products sold in that month, it will display no sales in this month. So that's all for, and thank you.
Dangal greetings, I'm Efren Gaetano, and we're here today to discuss the main class. First, this product is an add product, is just to add product to the system, and each product is given with unique ID, a set of stock quantity, unit price, selling price, and product name. And I'm going to discuss the main menu, which has 4 options: the product management, sale management, report and analytics, and the exit. And today I'm going to discuss the product management, and later on my other groupmate will discuss the sale management and report and analytics. First, I'm going to discuss the product management menu, which is the choice number one in the product management is to Add new product. These options allow the user manually add new products by entering the product's name, unit price, selling price, and stock. Let's try it. Number 1, add new product. 1, enter the name of each unit price is 20.26, selling price is 25.04, stock is 100. Now the product has successfully added, and case number 2. Case number 2 is to view all the product. It will display all the products currently available in the system along with their details like ID, names, prices, and stock. Now let's see. Number 2. These are the products that has been added in our product management, and as you can see, we can see the Oishi that we add, and I'm going to discuss the case number 3. This is to update the product details. This is how user update product information, such as changing the price or as restocking the item. Example. Number 3, enter a unique ID. Let's try the number 1 is Nova. Enter a new stock, 100. Unit price is 25 and selling price is 30. And the product is successfully updated. Now let's see the other product. As you can see, the number 1 Nova is already updated. And the case number 4, this is to delete the product. Used to remove a product completely from the list. The user input the product ID, and once confirmed, the product will be deleted. Now let's see. Enter number 4 is to the product, and we're going to delete number 6, which is the OVC. 6. Now the OVC is successfully deleted. Now let's see. View of the product number 2. As you can see, the OVC has been removed from the list of all the product. And the case number 5 is to search the product. This allows the search of the product by entering its ID. Once the product found, the program shows all the details, name, price, and stock. Now let's see. Search the product. Number 5, I'm going to change the search the BCAT, which is number 3. As you can see, this is the all information the BCAT has. And for the case number 6, this is just to return to main menu. After number 6, just to return to the main menu. And that's all for the product management. And the sale management and report analytics will be discussed by my group mates, and that's all. Thank you.
Once the user chooses Sales Management from the main menu, a submenu appears with 5 options. record sale, display sales record, delete sales record, and sales summary, and return to main menu. Firstly, I will explain the record sale. When the user selects record sale, it asks the user for the customer's name, the product ID, and the month of purchase. The program then searches for that product ID in the product list to check if it exists. Once the product is found, the program displays the product name, selling price, and the month when it is sold. After that, it asks the user to enter the quantity that the customer wants to buy. And when a valid quantity is entered, the program calculates the total purchase amount by multiplying the selling price by the quantity purchased. Then after that, the program creates a sales object that stores all the details, including the sales ID, which is automatically generated, the customer's name, the product ID, the product name, quantity, selling price, unit price, and the month sold. The product stock is also updated by subtracting the quantity sold, and the product total sales and total revenue are updated in recording a new sale. And after that, after the sales record is successfully added, the user is then asked again if they want to add another record or go back to the submenu. The user is asked to input 1 to add another record and 0 to go back to submenu. Second, display sales record. This option is used to show all the recorded sales in a formatted table. When the user selects this option, the program shows the entire sales record list. It displays details like sales ID, product name, selling price, quantity sold, month sold, and total price. The program format is formatted in a table-like structure with headers and columns so that it looks organized and easy to read. After that is delete sales record. The third option, delete sales record, allows the user to remove a sale that was previously recorded. This is used when a customer requested a refund, and when this option is chosen, the program first asks the user to enter a sales ID that should be deleted. It then looks for that ID in the sales record list. And if the ID exists, the program then performs several actions. It performs several actions. First, it removes the sales total. And it removes the sales total from the product overall sales by using this line of code. This line of code here makes the user makes sure that the product total sales value decreases correctly. Next, this line of code returns the quantity of the sold items back. This ensures that the stock is accurate after removing the total sales. And after that, it adjusts the revenue by using this line of code. This line of code removes the profit that was previously added when recording the sale. And finally, the program deletes the sales record by using this line of code. What this does is that it removes the sale node from the linked list. This for the next option. Next is the sales summary. This option displays the product that are sold the most in a particular month. When this option is selected, the system asks the user to input a month number like 1 for January, 2 for February, and so on. This program checks all the sales record of a particular month. After that, it performs two main action. First, it calls the most sold product. This method scans through the sales list and to find which product were sold the most in that month. Next, it calls the month total sales. This method calculates the total number of product that is sold and the total sales amount for that month. It does this by adding up all the sales price and quantities for every sales in a selected month. And after that, it prints out the total number of products sold and the total sales amount. But if there were no sales in that month, it prints no sales this month. And lastly is return to main menu. And what this does is that it exits the sales management submenu and takes the user back to the main menu program. And after the sales management, um, Mr. CJ Dinulos will explain.
So, Dangal greetings. I'm Carl Janel Inulas and I'm here to report about part which is the report analytics and also the case tree of the main class. So here, so in report analytics, we have five sub menus, which is the total number of products, total sales revenue, product with highest total sales, out of stocks, and return to main menu. After that, in line 326, we have in sub choice equals to integer that parse in close parentheses r dot read the line close parentheses. So the main function of this code is for us to get the user's input and display it in our console. After that, we have a switch statement. And in our switch statement, we have four cases, which is the case 1, case 2, case 3, and case 4. So, so and our in those four cases, almost all of those four cases have almost have oh, uh, almost have the same structure of how we get the on how we get the on how we get the method of on how we get the method uh, of the product management class. Then after that, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna oh, I'm gonna run our oh, so I'm gonna run our project and show you how reports and analytics work. So here I'm gonna show you. So reports and so reports and analytics is number three. So we're gonna input number three. Then here we have all the five sub main menus has sub menus of our reports and analytics. So we're gonna press one. So we're gonna press one for us to display the total number of products. After that, press enter to continue. Then press 2 to display the total sales revenue. Then after that, you're gonna see sales transaction, which is 1, total sales revenue 238.9999. So after that, press again the enter to continue. Then press number 3 for us to display the product with the highest total sales. So we see here that the product with the highest total sales is Viatos. Then after that, press enter again to continue. Then we're gonna enter number 4 for us to display the which product is out of stock. So see here, out of stocks. Uh, ID2 name Viatos. So the product that is out of stock is Viatos. So after that, I'm gonna press again the enter to continue. And then lastly, gonna input number 5 for us to return to the main menu. And that's all for me part. Thank you. Once again, I'm Carljan Eldinulos, and that's all.